At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard, live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. And this show is brought to you by DraftKings. We will run the floor with the entire Week 17 schedule in the National Football League today. Good guest as well, Mike Detillier, who's been covering the Saints SEC football for many, many years. We'll talk to him in about 90 minutes. Adam Chernoff with his weekly appearance. This is the 2023 finale to this show, Pauly. This is it. We'll be back on Monday, bright and early on New Year's Day.
Should be fun coming in here with the animals and see what people are, I never understood it. I don't partake. The day on the calendar says you have to get annihilated just this one particular day. And it's amateur hour, and then it's a vomit fest. I don't get it.
I can't stand it.
Yep.
I will be in bed on New Year's Eve, hopefully as soon as the Washington-Texas game is over with. And I won't think twice about watching the ball drop. It's meaningless to me.
Yeah.
I don't. The day on the calendar tells you to completely do something that would be considered you would never do otherwise.
Right. You got to fade the fireworks, though, at night. That's a big one.
I know, that's tough.
Yep.
That's tough. Well, regardless, I mean, today is a very, very big show, and last night was the finale as well to the Thursday night football schedule of the entire season, and what a bang to go out with. 37-20 Browns take care of the Jets, and the way Flacco did it again in the first half. I mean, you brought that up 10 times on the show yesterday, right? You liked his alternate passing yards over. Why not? Why couldn't it continue? Even though the Jets defense they had really good numbers, and they shut down a lot of elite quarterbacks throughout the entire year. He had 296 at halftime. Finished with 309 because it was such a blowout.
Right, and they hadn't allowed a 300-yard passer in 33 games. Touchdown passes this year. Flacco, 13. Giants, 13. Carolina, 13. Pittsburgh and Tennessee, 12. Jets, 11. First quarterback in history to throw for 250-plus and multiple touchdowns in his first 5 games with the new organization.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. They're in the playoffs for the second time since 2003, third time since 1999. I believe. I'm kicking myself I didn't take them in the blackjack tournament at 40-1. They can go anywhere and win. I'm concerned about the defense on the road, but we'll get to that coming up. But this guy continues to just sling it and put up these ridiculous numbers no matter who they're going against. No matter who's out there, no matter who's hurt, he's doing it against good defenses. They're 4-1 with him and likely to get the 5 seed. I'll take them against the AFC South winner, and I don't think I'm not going to be scared if they have to go to Baltimore or Miami. I have the fever here.
Oh, yeah. Big time Flacco fever here.
Yeah.
It's running wild across the country. He also became the first quarterback in Browns history with 4 consecutive 300-yard passing games.
Wow.
So file that one away. He's 30th already, or 31st on the all-time Browns passing list. He's above Johnny Manziel now.
Yeah.
Already at this point.
Right.
Now, I will say this. He got away with a bunch of potential INTs again last night.
Oh, he's still turning the ball over.
He threw one.
Yep.
By my count, easily could have had 3, potentially 4. Like, for example, that one pass right away, and when he went to Njoku, and how refreshing is it to watch this guy play now?
Yes.
He is busting out big time thanks to Joey Flacco.
He runs angry.
Yeah. But that second completed pass to him down the seam was a bad pass, just over, I think it was Mosley's fingertips. Easily could have been picked off. He got away with it. It was behind Njoku and went for a huge gain. So it's considered like an explosive play. So that will come back to haunt him at some point. I think he needs to be a little bit more careful with the ball. But let's live it up a little bit, man, while this guy's taking care of business, because I cannot imagine what a Browns-Ravens AFC title game would be like with Joe Flacco as the quarterback for Cleveland, potentially going to Baltimore and playing his former team, and the team that won 2 Super Bowls after leaving Cleveland.
Yes.
That's the best storyline that I could ever think of.
I want a Ravens, Browns, Bills, Dolphins Final Four. I think that'd be excellent. I see your point, but Njoku also had a silly fumble, and he also didn't have his best weapon, and he also lost more. Now, you could say get these guys back because it didn't look good in the second half, but
right.
They're coming back. Now, the Moore thing was scary. He's fencing. I mean, the arm movement and what was happening with the brain injury after the concussion, that was scary. But you're going to have Cooper back. You're going to have Moore back. As you said yesterday, I hope they have something to play for next week. I want to watch them play the Bengals. This is must-see TV, what he's doing. And it's great that it's happening to the Factory of Sadness, and he's doing this with the Browns, and they're back in the playoffs here, and they are a threat to do something. But this Stefanski is now minus 275 to win Coach of the Year at DraftKings. Oh, how things have changed.
Oh, think about this for a second now. In all likelihood, this team is going to be the 5 seed. They can still actually become the 1 seed, believe it or not.
They can get the division.
Yeah.
It's a long shot. But.
Yeah, it's a total long shot to get the 1. They can also, land at a different spot than where they're at right now.
They're 25-1 at DraftKings to get the 1 seed.
Okay. Stefanski, so will a 5 seed win the following awards? Stefanski's minus 275 Coach of the Year. Did you see Defensive Player of the Year? Miles Garrett is minus 235 now.
Saw it, yeah.
And Joey Ballgame is down to even money for Comeback Player of the Year.
I think the more I think about it, I think they're going to get 2 of them. I still think they're going to give it to Hamlin because they're going to say Flacco's only going to play 5-6 games. But yeah, and keep sending in your tickets. I saw the guys one guy's got 50-1. I saw another ticket at 100-1. A month ago, he was 250-1. Now even money for Comeback Player of the Year. I don't care if you have pizza money on that. That sucker adds up in a hurry.
Well, my buddy and I tried to get down much more than pizza money.
Okay.
This is a month ago, 100-1.
You tried to bet it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Guess what they gave him? At 100-1 a month ago, Comeback Player of the Year.
What'd you try?
Well, we tried to get down several hundreds.
They rejected it. Did they move it on you, or they just gave you $50?
They gave us $20.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. For an NFL award.
Oh, that's bad.
I don't even want. It's so demoralizing.
Was it in the middle of the morning or was it regular time?
No.
Regular time.
Regular time during the week. No oddball hours.
Oh, mercy.
Yep, $20 at 100-1 in. There you go. So that's the state of sports betting in 2023.
Well, yeah, we got issues here, no doubt. But what do you think? I think they're going to. I still think they're going to give it to Hamlin, but he's got a great shot here. At least we know this. It's only 2 guys. So if you have the Flacco tickets, just bet Hamlin $1.50, $1.30, whatever it is now.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely true. No, I will say it's tough to get like the clean sweep. Although the Jets won 2 awards last year. They had Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year. They took both of those down. The Giants had a chance to win Coach of the Year and Comeback Player of the Year with Saquon Barkley. The voters gave it to Geno Smith instead. They easily could have given all 4 of those awards to the New York teams, but they decided not to. So will a team potentially in the 5 seed slot area, will they get all 3 awards? I'm not so sure. Like, what if Micah Parsons has a great game coming up this weekend? He was just odds on this week earlier.
Yeah.
They're going to get all 3? That seems difficult for me to believe.
Yep.
But right down the field on drive number 1. I mean, it's just like, it's must-watch television with this guy. He's not afraid to take shots. He was doing it the entire first half again. He's out there laughing and smiling. How about the broken play where he's running and it's like Joe Flacco has like some, I know it's not like a hobbled wheel out there, but he actually looked like he was somewhat fluid running the ball. The drop off to Ford and he takes it the distance for the touchdown.
How can you rip the other teams for allowing this to happen? Everyone has receipts now. The Vikings, Flacco wanted to go to Minnesota. They went with Dobbs.
It worked out there for a minute, but
he wanted to go to the Jets. Couldn't even get a workout. You saw what happened there. He sticks it to the Jets. I mean, he was available for every team. The guy was on the couch.
Yeah.
And now here he is. I wouldn't want to see these guys in January.
No, neither do I.
It's an incredible story.
I want nothing to do with them in January.
The other thing, too, let's be honest, the Jets kind of quit, too. Now, Salah's now 0-7 ATS on short rest. This was a debacle, what happened. I mean, between the quarterback play and Hackett and the defense taking a step back, the stupid penalties every game, this was a horrible season for the Jets.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, and with all the hype and just how bad they were and how things went, I think that guy's a lousy coach. I really do. I've changed my mind on the guy. And it's the same stuff over and over again. Great call by you with the interceptions, which 77-1 both teams to have a defensive touchdown.
I saw that ticket.
That was the parlay. Both quarterbacks to throw an interception. The Olds got there with Flacco, 5-1 to throw for 300 yards, but as you mentioned, with 280 or 290 at halftime. I also thought I liked your tweet. Boy, the trash. Can we stop with the banging? I can't focus on the game. It's so loud.
So they actually, did you see that part where they showed the guy who was doing it?
Right, nonstop.
So they briefly, how do you not have somebody from security go over there and say, that's enough, pal. You can't do it anymore. And when I tweeted that out, I said the clanging, it's all you could hear in every single play.
I know.
Was the guy, it was worse to me than DeRozan's daughter screaming at the free throw shooters last year. How does security, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like...
you got to toss him.
You got to go over to the guy and just say, you can stay, no more. Can't do it anymore.
Right. Every single play. How about Michaels to put the Astros on Front Street? That was awesome.
Yeah.
And trash cans here. What are the Astros in town? That was awesome. He went out with a bang. I thought he was fantastic. You got Ben in there, Herb Street's dog in there. They finally had some fun, I thought. It's a shame it's the final game of the season, but Herb Street asked him what it was like to work with Cosell, and he goes, oh, my God, the stories. Mm-hmm. I did baseball with him for 7 years. It was interesting. I'll just leave it at that, but... ripping the Astros, and it was a hell of a way to go out, and certainly everything. We'll get to the props and everything that cashed as well. But you talked about it yesterday with good call by Rizzo with the Elijah Moore stuff. But imagine the books in Ohio. Give me Moore over, give me Flacco over, give me Ford over, give me the Browns to
give me
cover.
Ford touchdown, give me Njoku.
Oh my God,
with
everything
over.
adds up.
All those guys, yeah. Oh, no question. I mean, every which way, alternate numbers last night on the Browns, alternate total. I mean, that game was over easy in the second quarter with a low total like that. Everything got there. Some of the by the way, you'll recap that coming up and win-lose, some of the big prices that came in. Also, are we sure the Jets are a playoff team if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt? I mean, I think the guy is awesome. That offensive line is high school.
Yeah.
Bad. So
how can Becton be that big and so bad?
I know.
Is he a nice guy? Is that what it is? Adam Hill was like that. Adam Hill was huge, but he was a nice guy. He wouldn't block people.
Could have had a D1 scholarship.
Yeah.
He was too nice.
Too nice. Becton's too nice. He's a house. He can't block me.
Win some, lose some next year, and follow the money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
It was a great game and a fun night. Each team with a defensive touchdown parlay, 77-1. Johnson anytime touchdown, 45-1. Hickman, 45-1. The Johnson touchdown was an incredible play. To jump up twice, bat it down, pick it off, and house it.
First of all, I love the fact that you can actually bet on individual defensive players to score a touchdown.
Yeah, that is awesome. Ford, 2 touchdowns plus 850. Ford, first touchdown, 6-1. Moore, anytime touchdown plus 260. Missed extra point. Yes, plus 240. Somehow there was a scoreless quarter, plus 155. Flacco to throw for 300 yards, 5-1. Flacco over 2.5 touchdowns, plus 650. Alta over 44.5, plus 325. Look ahead line, Browns 4.5, close 7.5. Rutgers, plus 4.5, went off a 3-point favorite and beat Miami. Arizona, Oklahoma under, 64.5 down to 59.5. Fell 62. Arizona 11-2 ATS this year. Oh, if there was a 12-team playoff. Boston College, plus 460. Beat SMU at Fenway to start the day. West Ham went into Arsenal and won 2-0, plus 950.
Now, how about that?
That was something. And the Nuggets from 6 up to 9.5. No jaw. Illness. They beat Memphis 142-105. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. Look at the focus on the dog here in goal. The German Shepherd, there's a hockey puck in the middle, and it's all surrounded by balls. And the owner's gonna wait with the stick to shoot the puck last. But the dog is looking right at the puck. Don't care, tennis ball, okay, don't look. All right, get ready for it. Here it comes. Finally, the puck. Give me that. Oh, nails it right with his mouth. Can you believe that?
I love it.
The whole time, there's like 15 balls around the hockey puck. and he's putting them all in the net. But the dog is staring right at the hockey puck. And as soon as he puts the hockey puck, he nails it right in
the dog has one job.
Yeah, give me that. And he nails it, snatches it right out of thin air. Unbelievable. Patrick Waugh, bam, give me it. That's awesome. That's phenomenal video. This guy knows how to do Vegas right. Comes to town, he's at the casino, he's playing the machines, he's got a bottle of Fireball and a bottle of a little Jack and Coke can in the other one. I mean, look at this. I can't believe they allowed him to bring it in. Probably smuggle it in.
They probably didn't. He just happened to smuggle it in the area he's sitting with it now.
I know, he's got it wide open though, right? I mean, he's advertising it. He's got the big bottle of Fireball sitting on the machine, and he's got the Jack and Coke in his left hand as well. Okay, so you had the Pop-Tart Bowl yesterday. Unbelievable marketing.
Oh, phenomenal. The best I can remember.
Oh, come on. They're gonna put him in the toaster and he comes out and the guys can eat him, right? And the announcer, we're gonna devour him at the end. Oh, that was great. So you have a Pop-Tart secret?
Goes back many years.
You got to do this on do it at home and put
a demonstration video. People are asking for this now.
Yeah.
So for those watching the show right now, it's pretty simple. My cousin just told me the secret. 30 years ago, whatever. When it comes out of the toaster, piping hot, you grab the toaster. You just take a knife, cut it lengthwise like this. You can cut it as many times as you want, right? The Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
The frosted side. You cut the frosted side. You take a dab of butter and you put the butter inside the incision and you let the butter do its work and work with the filling and everything. And you can put as much butter on as you want. It's an A+. And I had no idea that this existed. And I love the show Family Guy. And people were sending me this last night.
Yeah.
They did a whole song. Peter Griffin. He's singing the song, "If you never put butter on a Pop-Tart." I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? I've been doing that since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
So they know. Other people, we got a tweet today. A guy said, I did one today this morning before your show started. I've been doing it since the 70s, he told me.
Really?
Yes.
I wonder how much stuff like this exists about how to...
Blows our mind?
Yeah. Well, like with food or how to prepare something.
Good question.
Yeah. Incredible marketing. All-time good. All-time bad. Lose some. Well, was close. I can't believe how many people had Pistons money line. People who work here, and then you see like DraftKings tweeted out, it was like the number one bet.
Yeah.
Pistons money line catching 17. Well, they're up 21, but they lose in overtime to the Celtics. They lost their 28th game in a row. That's tied for the longest in 4 major sports history. They go for the record Saturday. They play the Raptors at home.
The thought was,
oh boy,
one of the biggest point spreads we've had in a long, long time. Also, the Pistons want to avoid that, obviously. The Celtics have lost to bad teams over the last couple of years.
Yep.
With that big of a payout, people wanted to bet a little to win a lot. And oh, by the way, the Celtics were laying 15 in the second half, and they covered.
Yeah, they got that too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely. That is wild. 28 games in a row. There's a road trip coming up, too. They bet if they don't win Saturday, this could get to 35. Timberwolves from 9 up to 12. No Luka, won by 8. SMU from 9 up to 13.5. Lost outright. And what has happened to this once proud program? Miami is 1-11 straight up in bowls since 2007 and on a 2-12 ATS run in bowls.
I did not realize that.
What a disaster. Doesn't matter the coach. Horrible.
Well, and it's going to be the same thing with this guy. He will bring in talent.
Oh, God.
We saw it again yesterday. It's tough to watch. The clock management struck crystal ball again. He's a really good recruiter, and that's all I can say about him.
Yep. Lose some? Let's go down the road. Green Valley Ranch Casino. Tuesdays, they have all-you-can-eat tacos and tequila for $30. And look at this. Now, there's a long wait, but also it gets rowdy, apparently, which I put under lose some because the crowd gets a little rowdy and the natives get restless. But what's an all-time great deal. All-you-can-eat tacos, and it's not like, look at these tacos. Look how good this looks. All-you-can-eat tacos and tequila for $30. Incredible marketing.
I think I've walked by that restaurant 100 times.
Yeah.
I've never eaten there before. I've always thought about it.
I've been there once, right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, how about Mikal Bridges for the Nets? He did an interview. He's had Chipotle every day for 10 years. Is there, what? I didn't even know where to start.
Do you buy it?
I do buy it.
You do?
Remember the Yelich thing? Yelich ate it every day in the minor leagues, he said.
Yeah.
But why? What would you eat? The same thing? Same thing?
I couldn't do it. There's
Turkey
no way.
sandwich, chicken fingers? No?
I get tired of the same thing after 3 or 4 days. I'm
right.
like, I got to tap out.
I got back into A&W root beer.
Okay.
And I'm like, I drank it like every day. I can't do it. I'm sick of it already. It was
are
a week.
you? Yeah,
I went back to Coke.
I drink coffee every single day, probably 2-3 cups. Once in a while, it hits me. I'm like, I can't do it today.
Chipotle every day for 10 years.
What would you need for that?
That's a big meal. I know he works out. He's a basketball player, but that is nuts.
So does he go to the same one? It's right next to where he lives?
I don't know.
Or does he have a hankering every day at like 11:30? I got to get my Chipotle in.
I guess it was like Jared from Subway, too, though. He would eat it every day but lost weight, but then...
Well, then he saw a path to...
Yeah, it was also healthy, but he turned out to be a nut.
Yeah.
This was blowing up on social media again. I can't believe it's even asked. You have to survive 20 minutes with one of them for $100 million. Who are you picking? Who's picking the gator? It's the bear, the tiger, the hippo, and the gator. What are we doing here? If you pick the gator, you should be deported. Hippos are 4,000 pounds and they can scoot. The bear, you get cornered by a bear. We've all seen the movie Revenant. Come on. And then the tiger?
No.
Come on. We played that video 2 weeks ago where the guy hits the gator with a frying pan over the head, and he beats it. He said, I've had enough. And he leaves. I mean, go on. Get out of here now. Go on.
So you're saying the only option here is the gator?
That's right.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's the only one I would consider.
Right. You can't pick anything other than the gator.
Yeah.
I wasn't clear? Was it? Yeah, absolutely. You can't pick anything other than the gator. I have to survive with 20 minutes with one of them.
You'll be dead in 30 seconds with the tiger.
Yeah.
The bear, you might have some wiggle room to last like a minute and a half. You can scoot maybe around the hippo for the first, but once he tracks you down, forget about it. You actually have a puncher's chance against the gator to survive for a little while anyway and get out of there.
You can run away. You can hit him over the head.
Confuse him maybe.
Eye gouge.
How do they
something?
What's their radius like? They're not going to be. Come on, you can just run them. You can get them dizzy, run them around in circles.
Yeah. I played.
Great idea for a TV show.
I played Hungry Hippos as a kid. Maybe the kids have the wrong idea. They are fierce. They are nuts.
Oh yeah,
these hippos.
Is this when you were a hungry hippo, or
as a fatty
before your fat days?
Now I thought the Baron von Raschke was the claw. Is the Von Erich the claw now? The Iron Claw?
I want to go watch that movie.
Did you see the Rick? A lot of people say the Ric Flair thing blew it though. They say great movie. The cast. Everyone in the world can do a Ric Flair except the guy that plays Ric Flair in the movie.
No,
it's horrible. You haven't seen it?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's god awful.
Oh,
everyone can do it. Woo!
You're right.
We've interviewed him. Great guy. We interviewed the guy's hilarious. Everyone can do a Ric Flair except the guy who plays Ric Flair in the movie.
I haven't seen that part yet.
It's terrible. New customers can bet $5 and pocket $150 in bonus bets. Get the NBA League Pass for the rest of the season. Download the app, promo code VISA when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Learn to love it. Woo!
Can you give me the impression of the guy in the movie?
He doesn't even nail the woo.
Woo.
It's you won't believe it. Just watch it. It's like 2 minutes. You're like, who's this guy trying to be?
It's the easiest thing in the world to actually have an impression of.
It's like a macho man. Everyone can do a macho man.
Oh, yeah. Beat goes on. Let's start diving into Week 17. Slate coming up next. We'll hit some of the biggest games on the board, and they are 12-3 ATS in this spot over their last 15 games. Find out which team next here on VSiN.
Looking for a betting edge this college bowl season? The VSiN experts have you covered. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber with an intro offer of only $9.99. VSiN Pro subscribers get access to the daily recap of the top plays made by every host and guest, the betting splits, let you see where the money and bets are moving every game, and the bowl guide. Don't miss out. Limited time offer. VSiN.com. Sign up, $9.99. Become part of the team. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Email is ftm@vsin.com. This is from David. He said, you nailed it, Mitch. The tact with the gator is to run in circles. Their tail throws them off balance. The problem for me is I'm going to get dizzy as hell and fall down. You have to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Yep. How about this money yesterday on the game tomorrow night, Lions at the Cowboys? Now, here at Circa, most spots, it's early this morning, so I'm guessing when they wake up, open their books, they might adjust. But the Cowboys are down to 4.5 this morning at Circa.
I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. I love Dallas in this game. 15 in a row at home. Number 2 scoring offense in the league. 40 points per game at home this year. Not only 7-0 straight up, 6-1 ATS. And it's a great story, and congrats. They won the division, and they're back in the playoffs. The Lions' defense is atrocious. They couldn't stop Nick Mullins. What's Dak going to do? And these guys. And his numbers are so good at home. And Lamb has been great at home as well. So you're going to put pressure on Goff. There'll probably be a couple takeaways. It's going to be a high-scoring game, biggest total of the year, as you mentioned yesterday. But with a team that's won 15 in a row at home, great at taking the ball away, and trying to get on the right track offensively, and it's the perfect timing with this awful Detroit defense. There's going to be a letdown spot, too. They still have to be in celebration mode after clinching the division for the first time in 30 years. Dallas still has something to play for. I don't understand the Detroit money.
Right, and Dallas now coming back home after back-to-back losses, one of them which was ugly, the other one they probably could have won against Miami had things gone maybe a little bit differently. They are 12-3 ATS in their last 15 primetime games. They're also 12-2 ATS when coming off of a loss since 2021, although they were in that spot last week as well. You brought up the total, where it's at. A little bit of under money yesterday, now sitting at 52.5. Totals of 50-plus the last 2 years are 27 and 12 to the under. Now, Jared Goff is going to be playing indoors, but he's on the road, indoors compared to outdoors. While when he plays in a dome, he's 33-16 ATS, 23-8 the last 3 seasons. Very good. But you're exactly right. I think the Cowboys should get whatever they want on offense here. This is not a good Lions defense.
They're 23rd against the pass. Nick Mullins threw for 400 yards.
That's right.
We were talking to Paul Charchian yesterday off the air. On his 4th interception, there are guys wide open. And one guy was left uncovered on the left side of the field by 20 yards, but he didn't see him. So what's Dak going to do? I think if Detroit moves the ball, it's going to be on the ground, though, because this Dallas run defense is weak sauce.
I think so, too.
That would be the points to Gibbs and Montgomery in this one.
Yeah, I mean, because the Lions' offensive line is still very, very good. And if they can get that going and keep with it, you can just alternate those guys pretty much the entire game. That's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're one and done, though. Rams beat them, or Seattle gives them a game, and Seattle already went in there and beat them as well. So it's just they are so bad defensively. I can't believe it. And it started on Thanksgiving with that Green Bay game. I can't believe they shut down Baker Mayfield earlier in the season. They won like 20-6. Ever since then, it's been PU. What stinks?
Well, I mean,
everyone's lighting them up.
Yeah, I think maybe if those two teams played again right now, it might be a little bit different story. But and this team on the road, again, compared to at home, I'm a little bit surprised we're sitting right now at the Cowboys at 4.5 here.
You got Lamb props? He's averaging 104 yards per game at home, and he has 7 touchdowns. I mean, I think Lamb eats, and they just do whatever they want through the air.
Yeah, well, the guy who's been disappointing this year for the Cowboys has been Tony Pollard.
Yep.
And I handicapped that one in the summertime to get him at 50-1 for Offensive Player of the Year. He's had so many opportunities inside the 5 and inside the red zone this year, so many touches, and he can't get in. He's not the same guy from last year. He had the full workload this year, or in theory he did. If he's scoring with these opportunities, he'd be there with Mostert and McCaffrey right now for touchdowns. But he can't punch it into the end zone.
Right.
So that's been disappointing.
Right. The Miami game, it's like there's no one around him, and he still can't get in.
Right. How'd that happen?
I have this tied in and key with a ton of things. Moneyline parlays. And I got more action than a Rambo movie here, week 17. But this is tied into my Browns ticket and then other money line. I can't believe they're going to win this game. I think they're going to bury them. And team total, everything. If you can't slow down Nick Mullins. Oh, by the way, the Vikings lost guys. Addison went out, and Hawkinson got hurt in that game. And it still didn't matter.
Right.
This defense stinks.
No,
I told you I'm not an Aaron Glenn fan either.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing problem here for the defense. Maybe you should play some alternate numbers now that it's coming down to 4.5. Probably find something below 10.
Sounds good.
Pay some pretty good money.
They have to get right. They have to. And they've been great at home all year, 15 in a row. I mean, come on.
Well,
losing these back-to-back road games, McCarthy and these guys have to get back on track.
Sure. And Paul, how many times have we said it this year? It's a week-to-week league. Now, again, they did play better in Miami than they did in Buffalo, although they did not come away with the win. Things change, man. I mean, you can't. It's totally the story of the NFL, like it is with this game, a week-to-week league. Dolphins at the Ravens. Now, there's this point spread has been ping-ponging back and forth this week. Got up to 4, then back down to 3. And now at most spots today, Ravens are sitting at 3.5, and the total is 47. And they are coming off of, I'm not going to call it their best performance of the year because they were probably better against the Lions and the Seahawks, but it came against the best team in football. So that's why I think some people would argue with it. Regardless, as a favorite since 2015, the Ravens as an organization, 10 games below 500, 45%.
Well, congratulations. You were great on Monday night. Now you have to do it again. This is for the 1 seed. This is enormous. If Miami loses this game and the Bills win, next week is for the division. That'll be your Sunday night game, by the way, too.
Yep.
But this is no Waddle, it looks like.
Yep.
And the offense has been struggling with Hill banged up. How big is the loss to Tennessee on Monday night? Ooh, does that loom large? Baltimore's 4th in scoring. Lamar MVP talk now and how well they looked and defensively and beating the Niners. But this is enormous here. And I can't get there with Miami again. So, yeah, you finally beat a good team with the Cowboys at home. But the offense certainly struggled. And Dallas fumbling at the 1-yard line was a big play in that game. Mm-hmm. But now can you go on the road and get it done? Because if you don't, this is nuts. Miami can get the 1. Miami can get the 2. Miami can blow the division. Miami can get the 6th seed. And a lot of people would take Buffalo next week on the road with Miami with the division on the line.
But Buffalo can land in the 2 spot.
Yeah.
So don't forget about that for a minute here.
But it's so many injuries here. And then what does the rushing game look like? Can they gash them on the ground? We know Baltimore's rushing attack is great, but what can Miami get going on the ground? And certainly Baltimore has to remember what happened the last meeting when they blew a 21-point lead and the Tua show took over.
That was in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's right. And Hill went nuts.
Now, if there's no Waddle, which I don't think he's going to play, I mean, this is going to come down to Tyreek Hill against, being the primary target here and getting who knows how many targets thrown his way. The Ravens rank out as the number 1 pass defense in the entire NFL. And we saw what they did last week with that game plan against Brock Purdy and how awesome they were. I'm not going to call it a completely, a total one-man show now with Tyreek Hill because they do have other weapons. But, who do you trust now? McDaniel on the road, who is just awesome coming up with offensive philosophies against teams defensively. But you got to say the same thing about Harbaugh as a head coach as well, and defensively what they do. So what does that battle
tough,
look like?
I know. And both teams figured out it could be a letdown, too. Miami finally gets the big win against Dallas, and then Baltimore, everyone's pumping their tires and kissing their ass because they beat the Niners. And with everything on the line here. So they've had some great performances at home. They've also had some stinkers. They had no business beating the Rams. They lost to the Colts. They blew a big lead and got beat by Watson and the Browns. He was perfect in the second half. Mm-hmm. At DraftKings, Baltimore's minus 350 to get the 1 seed. Miami's plus 250. Cleveland's 25-1. NFC Niners are $4.
I'll give you some notes, too, in the situational spot. Since 2021, teams are 16-34 straight up and 18-30-2 ATS after playing the 49ers.
Yeah.
Remember, there was that thing for a long time. The next week after a team played the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just got mauled and beat up, and it would affect them the following week. The 49ers have been that version now for 3 years. And also, teams off a straight-up win as a dog on short rest, 88, 123-10 ATS last 20 years. That's the situation here that the Ravens are in. And I said this last week in the look-ahead numbers. I thought 3 was too short. I was also hoping for a Baltimore loss to come back home and lay 3 in this spot. Now, after that game against the Niners, I haven't touched this game yet. I don't think I'm going to. Contests straight, I don't think I'm just going to sit back and watch it, and hopefully it's a good game.
Yep. Should be the Sunday night game. NFL blew it.
Yeah, why'd they not do this? This is this the least amount of flexing they've ever done?
They did it once, didn't they? Just one time all year? Yeah.
No, well, it was at the Monday night game?
Yeah, they took out the Patriots and Chiefs.
That's the only flex they made?
I believe so.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Up next, we'll hit some weekly props. You can go extremely low with the Florida State team total, and we'll share some odds along with Michigan and Alabama with alternate point spreads in their game on Monday coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Juice Reel, a free betting intelligence app and a tool every bettor needs that links your betting accounts into one app, delivers in-depth analytics on your history, and you have access to the betting history of billions of bets placed by all Juice Reel users. In-depth betting analytics, billions of data points, tail the winners, fade the losers. Find out for yourself. Download Juice Reel Juice like orange juice, REEL. Download the free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. It's free. Juice Reel, REEL. Go get it today. Juice Reel.
Let me throw a couple of college props at you for this weekend and then on Monday as well, which we'll discuss again coming up on that day on New Year's Day. So you laid 13.5, was it, with Georgia against Florida State?
Yeah.
Way to get ahead of that one. That was a good job recognizing that. So we've talked about the Florida State team total here. Who's going to be playing for this team? They're going to be down so many players. It's now 12.5. It was 14.5 earlier in the week. So the standard one is 12.5. If you like Mike Paul made the case, like how are they going to score? Are they going to get shut out? You can go under 10.5, under 9.5 at plus 140. You can go under 8.5 at plus 160. You can go under 7.5 at plus 175. Do you find any of those numbers appealing at all?
Sure. And as Brad Powers said, he thinks it gets to 21 now. I mean, you couldn't move the ball against Louisville, and now you're going to be third-string quarterback, and you're going to be without most of the team. So they're also ticked off as well about what happened with the committee and now all this talk about getting out of the ACC. But, this if we win and we're only undefeated, we should be the champs. Well, everyone, you can feel that way, but no one's going to play in this game for them. So it's just going to take them behind the woodshed, it appears. And then Georgia also wants to prove that they belong. And like, hey, what we won this long winning streak? We lose a game by 3 points. We're out.
Yeah.
What gives?
I know we brought that up yesterday. Last year in the national title game, Georgia completely ran it up on TCU. I personally don't think that if they have that opportunity, I don't think Kirby Smart's going to do it. I go back to that Zoom call that he did with Norvell immediately. I think it was the day after.
Right.
When they announced the matchups,
okay.
right? You could tell the devastation on both coaches' faces. Like he thought it stunk because he's convinced they're still one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Right.
Norvell was sick to his stomach. Like, we're 13-0, Power 5. I think both guys felt it. I think Kirby Smart felt sorry for Norvell in that spot. So I think just as like being in kind of like the coaching fraternity, I don't think he's going to make it like a 40-0 game if he has the opportunity to do it. I think he's going to call off the dogs at some point.
Yeah.
Now, will they be up and covering the game? Maybe, probably. But I don't think maybe he sends in the backups earlier than he normally would.
Yeah. I just think they're still down in the dumps and talking about it and between all the opt-outs and yeah. I still can't believe it happened. I still can't believe a brand like Florida State going undefeated getting shut out. I still can't believe it happened.
Yep. You can flip it if you want to go contrarian and think that Florida State will show up and score some points. Will both teams score 15-plus points? I saw the yes on that is plus 184 in the game. If you want to lay out numbers with Alabama or vice versa against Michigan, you can go as high as Alabama minus, from what I saw anyway, Alabama minus 24.5 if you want to get nuts. That's 14-1. But we talked about to Brad Powers about this yesterday. He said that he was willing to go, I think he threw the number out, 13.5 with Alabama. That's plus 430. If you want to keep it underneath some key numbers, you can lay Bama 9.5 and get like around 3-1. Look, if you're opposite, and like you with the Cowboys this week, I have, I think like 7 or 8 tickets alive now to Bama in this game outright. I've lost 2 other bets tying it in throughout this month to Alabama. I've been trying to do that as many times as possible. But if you're on the other side, you can also lay, huge numbers with Michigan. If you think they're going to win convincingly, minus 13.5 with the Wolverines is plus 330. You can go even higher than that.
It's an intriguing matchup. You have to take Saban against Harbaugh. And Brad's breakdown was so good yesterday, and Saban with time to prep and Harbaugh's issues in bowl games. How many times has Alabama played up to their power rating? Well, this year.
Oh, this year.
Once. Is it once? You lost at home to Texas. You beat South Florida 17-3. It was 10-3 with a minute left. You beat Ole Miss by 14 at home. Okay.
Maybe that game.
You were fortunate to beat Texas A&M on the road. You beat Arkansas at home by 3. You beat Tennessee at home by 14. LSU had injuries, but they were great in that game. But
they were really good in that game.
42-28. So all this, you were great against Georgia, and everyone said, oh, my God, Alabama. No one's paying attention to what happened in the Auburn game. It's like you were outplayed and had no business beating Auburn. So how good is this team? And how good is Milroe? I thought the comments about O'Brien yesterday were interesting. Where O'Brien says don't even play the position.
Right.
But I can come back and also say the same thing with how bad everyone's talking about Florida State and Louis. Did you watch Michigan against Iowa? Mm-hmm. It was just as bad. They were handed the game. That should have been like a 6-0 game. They had the 90-yard punt return and a defensive touchdown.
Of course.
And then they couldn't even throw the ball, wouldn't throw the ball against Penn State with McCarthy. So it's a tough battle, but I have to go Saban here in this spot. But again, I just think we're drinking the Alabama Kool-Aid because they were unbelievable against Georgia. That's the only time they've been great this year.
Okay, so I will tell you that Michigan, their schedule, though, was so weak compared to Alabama's.
That's true. That is absolutely, yes.
SOS, Alabama grades out at the toughest schedule in the country this year. Michigan is so low on the pecking order because they didn't play a legit team until they got to Penn State. And Penn State still, I don't think, is elite by any stretch. I think they're total frauds. The Ohio State game, as Mike Palm pointed out yesterday, was even after it got a little wonky there to begin the game. There was a turnover. And then, I'm sorry, but I was awful. And the Big Ten in general, I'm a Big Ten guy. I've watched this conference my entire life. I'm from there. The Big Ten stinks out loud.
Yep.
It's a terrible football conference.
The West is an abomination.
Yeah, there are two really good teams. It's Michigan and Ohio State. The rest of it, you can have any of them. You want to pick them and take them away? Go ahead. They're yours. The West is laughably bad. So I don't get why Michigan's even favored in this game. I'm with you. I don't think Alabama was great this year either, but they got a lot better throughout the season as well.
Yeah, they have an unbelievable coach, no doubt.
Yeah.
And then I'm still worried about the Harbaugh. Where's he going to be next year? And suspensions and Chargers call and all that. And couldn't I say the same thing about Washington? They're battle tested.
Oh, yes, they are.
Texas, how bad was the Big 12 this year?
I would agree with that.
I thought Mike Palm was spot on with who they played, Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State got housed at home by South Alabama.
Texas, it's coulda, woulda, shoulda. They easily could have lost the game at home to Kansas State.
Yep.
They survived that one. They did play better down the stretch as well. They figured it out with the Ubers, and their running game is really good. But I agree with you. I think the Pac-12 was clearly ahead of the Big 12 this year, and Washington played everybody, and it didn't matter. Bad spots at Oregon State, forget about it. Won and covered that game, and it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Got to go on the road against USC. Your defense is going to give up a lot of points. Who cares? Outscore and put 50 on the board. They won in several different ways this year.
Yeah, the thinking is, and the line is backwards here. I mean, if the Pac-12 is the best league, and it is, and they went undefeated, but you have to factor in travel here, and it's going to be all Texas fans too, I guess. But certainly, they beat any kind of way and then beat up Oregon in the last meeting.
What are you looking at for weekly football props, NFL?
Well, this one finally cashed. You were out, but a wide receiver to have 200 yards cashed with Cooper. That's plus 650. Will a wide receiver do it is 7-1. You can bet how many players will have 100 yards receiving. 6 to 7 is the favorite, plus 160. Will a quarterback throw for 500 yards is 20-1. How many quarterbacks will throw for 300 yards? 1 or fewer is 15-1. 12 or more is 22-1. 4 to 5 is the favorite, plus 130. Weekly leaders, Pat Mahomes is the favorite? How can that be? I know the Bengals defense has had a rough go of it and what they let Rudolph and Pickens do, but Mahomes is the favorite for most passing yards Sunday? Stafford's the second choice along with Purdy and Tua. Stroud's 12-1. Love and Stick 13-1.
Now,
I think you're going to get a big ticket that cashes.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I know Purdy got banged up in that game on Monday night.
Yeah.
If he's a full go, again, I got to point this out. I do it every single Friday. Washington's defense dead last in so many metrics.
Yep.
They're awful. This is a bounce back, get right spot for the Niners, and everybody should go off. If Purdy plays the full game and he's healthy, I think he can touch 400 yards. Unless they just do McCaffrey and say, screw it, we're going to get out of here, and hopefully nobody else gets hurt.
Tyreek's the favorite for most receiving. Jefferson's the second choice. T. Higgins 12-1. Puka 16. Diggs 18. So is Kupp, Ayuk. I would look at a 49er there.
Yeah, so would I.
Rushing. Williams 3-1.
He's that low.
Yep. Well, this Giants defense, they've been getting gashed on the ground.
What a draft by the Rams.
I know. McCaffrey's plus 425. Chandler's 14. Cook is 15.
Chandler might be the guy.
Yeah.
I know the Panthers fell behind last year. If they didn't, I thought the Packers defense, Paul.
Yep. And I'm not going to throw it with Hall, right? Figured Chandler get a
with that many injuries.
horrible job by O'Connell. Paul Charchian was calling for this guy to get the ball months ago.
More of the Week 17 slate coming up next. Teams are not in KC spot very often. We'll tell you how they've done in a bounce-back position next here on VSiN.